June 1st, 2018 was when I uploaded the very first video on my channel, which means today my channel is now 5 years old. I recommend going to watch some of those earlier videos. Yes, they're very low quality, but that just shows how much I've improved over the years and all the adventures that I have captured. Wow, 5 years. At the same time as that feels about right, it feels like it should have been longer ago. Like, in 2018, my life was completely different. It feels like 15 years ago. But yeah, after all these years, I've done many things. One big part of my YouTube channel is YouTube Poops, or YTPs for short. I made a whopping 25 of them. For the 5th anniversary of my channel, I thought I would rank them. Just show you guys how I think of them in general and how they age all the way up to today. So let's get started. Number 25 is Thomas breaks the rules of his ranch. Dear God, I hate this one. This is one of the few that I actually hate. I don't like it. What was I thinking when I published it? From the very first scene, I was like, what? Like, it starts with the Kipper intro with the Thomas theme. Okay, what's the joke here? And then it really overuses the joke of fork and the garbage disposal. Like, there's one funny part of it, though, which is here.
Some hat was having breakfast. He was eating grass and
Pussy!
the butler came in.
Hey, get that away from me.
Yeah, I kind of gotta laugh at that. Overall, this is not a good YTP. He is absolutely going at the bottom. Number 24 is the strike part 1. Oh boy, a 2-part YTP. What a great concept, am I right? Yeah, well, a couple factors kind of made this doomed from the start. It was right after I made Cranky Explodes, a much better one, so I thought, oh yeah, I'm a good YTPer now, I can do this. Well, not necessarily. I made this in just 3 hours. It was 3 hours I could have been doing with other things, yes. And yeah, it was during quarantine. I wasn't a very happy person at the time, but enough emotional appeal. It's just, there's no joke. It's just the episode Trouble in the Shed with just words remixed. My favorite part is right here.
It's no good, they said at last. Now you'll have to pull the next train
Backwards?
Look, called some boys. There's a new
Roller coaster.
And that's kind of it. It wasn't really funny afterwards, until the very last part of the credits, I guess.
strike.
Number 23, Toad has to run away from the Pee-Pee Poo-Poo Man. Great title! I love the concept. This is one of my favorite Thomas the Tank Engine episodes as a kid, but, there weren't very many good parts here. Driver the Joe did a much better job with this. There are 2 parts of it that I don't think about too often, and those are
Oliver wanted to help. You're a pussy! I know, Mr. Oliver.
and
Sir,
Toad the brake van.
cost us about $2,000 in damages.
Holy shit!
$2,000!
the second one being kind of an inside joke. Yeah, this is definitely one I'm going to remaster eventually. Number 22, The Strike Part 2. This one is a lot better than Part 1, and I like all the George Carlin quotes, especially at the beginning. It's kind of a mess there. And how the Fat Control tells the big engines their job.
We'll see about that, said Sir Topham Hatt. And he hurried away to find Edward.
Yeah, I'm riding through the area in a car that's made of fucking burgers, leathers, and leather seats.
Although, as soon as it gets to the scene where, after Edward is told to grab the coaches, it just kind of dies. I even realized it when I was editing it, but this is a good lesson in knowing that if you want to stop the YouTube poop, then stop it. When you start it, you should know if it's going to be 30 seconds or 30 minutes. If it's not funny anymore, just stop it. There's nothing wrong with cutting it halfway through. And so, yeah, that's another one that I don't really like, but it's a foundation for future improvement. And This one is unlisted like the Strike Part 1. I wasn't going to, but it would make no sense if I had Strike 2 up but not Strike Part 1, so I enlisted 2. But I will have all of these in a playlist in the link in the description.
Leave those explosions! Please, Edward, said Sir Matt. I want you to push tender engines in the yard.
I didn't give a shit. It's important in life if you don't give a shit. It can help you a lot.
Number 21.
One winter evening, Henry's driver said, "We'll be out late tomorrow. We've got to take the flying
Chicken strips!
Yes, this is absolutely the next one I'm going to remaster. Like, absolutely classic title on my channel. Back when I had 4 YTPs, if you ask me which one was my favorite, it would be this one. But when I rewatched it recently, I realized, there's not much here. I mean, it's kind of funny at times.
They unload the
Chicken strips!
on the key.
In case you're wondering why Virginia Tech is the villain, it's because back then I was kind of mad at them for rejecting my application, but since then I got over it a long time ago, so whenever I remaster this, it will have a new villain, or maybe no villain. I already have some ideas for that. We'll have to see.
The signal was dropped, sir. Cheer down, Henry. It wasn't your fault.
Number 20. A man has fallen into the river in Lego City. Very creative title. The day before this was made, I saw the one by CS188, and it was hilarious. I showed it to some of my friends at the college I was attending, and thought, well, I'm probably not as good as CS188, but I think I'll give it a try. And, yeah, there's a little bit of meme potential here. It kind of merges a Thomas character with Legos. Yeah, it's kind of amusing.
Emergency! The pee-pee-pee-pee man. We are in Lego City. Start the fire. There's a fire. Call the fire. You can jump into fire and get the fire to the new fire. Fire! Hey!
Number 19. Bear in the Big Stupid House.
Welcome to the stupid house.
This is actually one of my most popular YTPs. As of when I'm recording this audio, it has 0 dislikes. Wow, so why is this still in the bottom third of YTPs? Well, there are a couple of, like, really hilarious moments in this. Don't get me wrong.
When you come and me, help yourself to my
Ball.
But there are just some parts of it that aren't really that great. Like, I always skip, like, the debate joke just because I already used that before and it's not really that funny anymore. And after the song, halfway through, up until Bear goes upstairs, that part's, like, kind of boring, but there are a couple of hilarious moments, but there are just really boring parts in between. If I were to remake this, then I would make it only the funny parts. And I do plan to make a second Bear in the Big Blue House YTP sometime this year, so stay tuned.
Get the fuck out of my big blue house!
Number 18. It's Funny Gordon.
You took my only food! Now I'm gonna starve!
Now this one has the motto of all of my YouTube poops, which is...
Gordon was feeling grumpy. This was making James make
You should poop.
classic. And there are a lot of really funny moments, like when Gordon crashes into the station like 3 times more than he actually does in the episode. One time his driver's supposed to drive him backwards, but instead he goes forwards.
Now you can really enjoy your run as long as your ass will let you sit as driver.
Yeah, that's kind of funny. But there's one moment where, like, I don't really get the joke.
I'm going to poop poop at Henry's.
I always skip that whenever I rewatch this, so, yeah, it's just okay, this YouTube poop.
You will do as you are told. So Gordon did not.
There are
Tea and crumpets there.
Number 17, the new Kids Devil Coaster. This is my least favorite of the Six Flags YouTube poops. I mean, there are lots of funny moments, like
2019, 2019, 29, 29, 29.
but it doesn't even have the 666 flags commercial. I guess I didn't have any ideas at the time. It's just okay. Almost good though. And of course it is quite portable.
The Six Flags Great Adventure introduces 666 The Ride. Totally kid ride.
Number 16, The Bull Who Hates Unite Original. This was my first attempt at making a YouTube poop ever. Before I rewatched all of these for this video, my previous time watching it was on the way to Hershey Park with Derek and Kaylin in June of 2022, and there I realized it's quite a good first attempt. I like this one. It is quite slow in some bits, which is why I remastered it, but yeah, quite a good watch.
Champion is a fierce bull.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Look, Daisy, I've got some sweets. They're called chicken strips!
Number 15, More Flags, 666 flags.
666 flags! More flags! More fun!
I made this for a contest about a year ago for Theme Park Avenue. He has another one now, actually. I hope I can figure out something before the deadline. Yeah, I kind of made this in a rush just because it was technically late to the contest, but they extend the deadline for me. Yeah, it's kind of amusing, but not funny, although I do love how it references Five Nights at Freddy's, which led to me making in October the Five Nights at Six Flags game.
And take on 2020.
And it got 5th place, so okay. Let's aim for 1st place this time. I think we could do it.
More flags! More flags! 666 flags!
Number 14, A Thomas Day for Big. This is actually the last Thomas YTP I've ever made that wasn't a remastering, and it has some hilarious moments to it, like...
Then he came to a signal at danger. The signalman was so... The signalman had stared. Then he waved his arms up and down. Thomas's... Oh! Oh!
And then it merges that episode with the intro of Trouble in the Shed, and then the popo comes. There are a couple of good things to it, and edits I haven't done in any of the previous Thomas YTPs yet. It's a good watch.
This is illegal, you know.
Number 13, George Carlin's Everyday Sex Expressions.
This next thing is about banging the babysitter. It's about little sex expressions we use. We all say them, the little sayings and sayings and sayings, and we use all it.
This one I knew wasn't going to be as good as the first George Carlin YouTube poop I made, but it's quite a fun watch. It's a little bit faster paced than the first one, and there are a couple of really good jokes.
I will bet you anything that while you're banging the babysitter, the neighbor will reading a book, not bothering anybody. Another guy standing up at the front with a machete, banging John Cardinal O'Connor of New York, and some of these other cardinals and bishops.
The reason why I published it then and not a week before afterwards is because I wanted it to be published on tax day for this joke.
I think there ought to be a government booklet entitled "Fuck You." Now that I think of it, I believe there is a government "Fuck You" booklet. They send it to you on April 15th.
I always enjoyed my watches of this one.
Next time they tell you to say something in your own words, say blowjob, stick, Mickey Mouse, lol, sex expressions, Wyoming, street, and walk, legally chicken, fuck!
Number 12, YTP Shut. The first one. Okay, I'm ranking all the ones on my channel, not that I've made. So, supposedly my crew made this for me for April Fool's Day.
Oh, right.
Shut.
When you watch this one, you can kind of tell that it was the first one, and they were just trying to figure out how they're going to do things, but...
Up down my dick, don't be afraid to... Come on!
Albert Einstein. But it's still quite funny. Fun fact, this is my first YTP that doesn't have the Is that James and James 2 joke. I guess that's because I am James. But there are still many parts of this that we like to talk about to this day. It still has the singular best moment of any of the Shut installments. So far, no joke has beaten this one.
Is that a zombie?
They eat Hitler. Is that a skelly? They shoot arrows at Karen.
Every time we look at it, like even 2 years later, we still have to pause it for like 5 minutes to laugh about it.
Being a future civil engineer myself, I fail. I'd make it funny.
Number 11, The Boy Who Hates the Night Remastered.
Toby the tram engine is going the wrong way.
But it's a backing signal.
Stupid Toby.
Wow, this is such an improvement from the original. Wow, I love it. Any unnecessary moments, they're cut out. Some of the jokes are made better. And the stupid bird outside, instead of using my voice, is made within the show soundbite itself.
You're afraid of getting...
Stupid bird outside!
You're afraid of the stupid bird outside, she flounced.
Great! If this is 11, the top 10 is going to be quite good.
She took out a farm crossing and a horse and car and a horse and car and a horse and car and a car and horse halted Daisy.
Make more horses!
She purred away. The champion driver said,
Stop! But he was too late.
Now for my... Some boys were on
Sir Topham Hatt.
Hey, you! Look, Daisy, I've got some sweets. They're called candied moose balls.
Number 10, George Carlin responds to an emergency situation.
Emergency news people like to say police have responded to an emergency. No, they haven't. They've responded to an emergency situation. We know it's an emergency. Everything is shit.
Great YTP, although I kind of wish I instead called it George Carlin talks about COVID or something. Well, great, now this video is going to be demonetized. George Carlin talks about the super virus, because when we watching his germs clip to get ideas for this, I thought, maybe I could use this to complain about people who didn't take the pandemic seriously.
And immediately, I thought of some super virus, because that's what Americans do now. They're always willing to trade away a mask in exchange for freedom.
The reason why this is at 10 and not higher is because after the first joke of it, it's kind of boring until you get to the supervised part. But when I watch the rest of this, it kind of feels like watching that clip all over again for the first time. It's just so energetic. My favorite part is right here.
And if I drop food on the floor, I'd pick it up and eat the toilet seat. And if I drop food on the floor, I'd fucking die.
So that's it for number 10. And remember,
Place the mask over your face.
Or fucking die.
Number 9, Crinky explodes.
Explosions!
This is the greatest Thomas YTP I've ever made. It's not where I first used the explosions joke. That would be in one of my last day before college videos back in 2019, where I axed open a Diet Coke with Mentos in it. That actually sounds kind of fun. But this one was definitely where we started using the clip more often. Like, the explosions and all the action kind of happens almost faster than I can register it. And that's what YTP should be. This is definitely one of the first YTPs I made that's in the great tier. The end could use some improvement, but overall, yeah, everyone gets banged and exploded, everyone falls down. It's so silly.
Straight into the sheds. Help! I can't!
When the storm was over, Sir...
Number 8, Diabolical Dive Coaster.
Coming to Six Flags Fiesta, Texas, Diabolic Dive Coaster for 2022.
Michelin star thrills for the
DC Super Friends.
It's my first Six Flags YTP that advertises a singular roller coaster rather than the chain as a whole. And this is quite a good one. I like how it kind of starts by making like a standard ad for the coaster, besides that quick DC's Batman the Ride joke, which has been a staple to my channel since 2020. And then it gets a little bit crazier over time until the showing of Dr. Diabolical's cliffhanger is done. And then it just goes full crazy with 666 Flags. And who can forget the...
That's right, everyone pays just 59 kids, our lowest price of the year.
absolute landmark in my time making YTPs.
More more kids. 666 Flags.
Number 7, Six Flag 2021 announcements.
Hello, I'm Dan Reed Jimson, Chairman, President.
This one is made a long time ago, well, in internet terms, I guess. And technologically, it's not the best YTP I've ever made, but it was an absolute landmark. If I gave Ace Coaster landmarks to my YTPs, this would be one of the ones that would get it. Like, it's just the foundation of so many jokes we did in the future. It was actually Cranky Explodes that first did Firebird Bang James, but this one extended that joke, and whenever I talk about it, I always add people that are banged by the coaster Firebird.
Firebird, Bang, Thomas and Percy, and Gordon, and James.
And that's just one of many examples, and of course, I can't forget about...
While Six Flags America issues Max Force, Magic Mountain launches its 20th coaster, the Jersey Devil Coaster. And of course, the holidays just wouldn't be the same without the magic and lights of DC's Batman, the ride.
And Endereed Jimson saying no over and over and over again.
No, 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 no.
There's just too many things to like about this one. I had to put it here.
It's 19. Each and every Six Flags park. Let's get king. Oh, wow. My goodness.
Hey, what the hell?
Jim?
Number 6, Shut 2 Electric Boogaloo. Shut 1 has a hilarious moment, the most hilarious moment in the Shut universe, but Shut 2 is more consistently good throughout. Well, shit, I'd sure like to do. We are very careful about it today. Let's go, bitches, which is useful for spawning my very small dick.
Oh, right.
Shut. Yeah, you definitely see signs of improvement in this one. Anthony seemed to know what he was doing. Oh no, I accidentally punched Albert Einstein in the dick for educational purposes. It introduces Taco Bell jokes to this topic of YouTube poop. Y'all hate Taco Bell. Make you poop? And he even made a song of something I said once. What the hell? I'm dead! What the hell? I'm dead! What the hell? I'm dead! But one of the most quotable moments of this is where I'm in the village of Sploin in How to Play Minecraft 1.16, and I ask a villager. I just pooped yesterday, and I really wanted to see what is a chain link lock system. Well, I don't know. I've been looking for 40 years. I can't go over every moment of this YouTube poop without wasting your time. Just go watch it yourself. Oh, shit. Guess I didn't consider that without Karen. There are no kids. I am stupid, idiot. Number 5. Wonder Woman Flight to the Magic Sauce.
Wonder Woman Flight
To the magic sauce.
The world's tallest, fastest, longest single rail coaster. Jersey Devil Coaster. The world's tallest, fastest, longest single rail coaster.
Until recently, this was my favorite Six Flags YTP of mine. Like, wow. Like some of the others, it gives 2 nicknames to the coasters. First, Wonder Woman Flight to Magic Sauce, and then
Jersey Devil Coaster. Totally the world's tallest single rail coaster. Jim is single.
And then the coaster crashes, and then just skip straight to 666 Flags. The intro part also takes like 40 seconds, but that's kind of good. There wasn't much to talk about with the actual coaster, other than it was another Jersey Devil coaster. So yeah, I wouldn't mind a little extension of it, as long as it's funny, of course.
25 kids and 20 coasters, led by 59 Goliath. Coasters, buy pass now. It comes with 5 free.
I remember after first making this in fall of 2021, I just kept watching it over and over and over again with my friends. Such a good time. Number 4, Aquaman Power Fuck.
At Six Flags, you. Every magic sauce.
You thought Wonder Woman was good. This one is almost elite. Like, wow, it's 3.5 minutes. That's pretty good. Lots of content. And then the end part for the 666 Flag segment is more evil, more fun.
More evil, more fun. Six Flags.
There are also 2 like post credits scene. When watching YTP, always wait until it comes to a complete stop. Just because the screen goes black doesn't mean it's over. Watch it all the way through. There could be a hidden joke somewhere.
urine, and feces.
Not much to talk about with the actual coaster. I was just talking about it, although I do love the...
In 2023, Batman dies.
And how I called the water park at Six Flags Daring Lake Six Flags Carry Lake.
Meanwhile, while a wave is crashing ashore at Six Flags Carry Lake.
And of course, this was my first Six Flags YTP in a while, so I had to reintroduce Andy Reid Gibson and show what kind of character this is. And overall, it worked very well.
Hello, I'm Dan Reid Gibson, 666 Flags Chairman, President, and CEO. When I told my team I wanted to our guests, they decided to
fire Jim.
Number 3, Double D Goes to Double D featuring Double D.
So I just rode Ricochet. Oh, sorry, apples. Not good. Yeah, I thought it was pretty shit. The laterals were terrible. Something kind of funny happened on the ride. We were like making chicken strips on the ride.
Okay, I have a little bit of bias, but come on. There's no part of this YTP that I dislike. Very few YTPs can do that.
Now, bad Apple Ops, I have a message for you. Shit?
I made this for Derek for his 18th birthday last year, and it shows various adventures of ours at amusement parks, as well as a very classic video called Derek's Trip to Japan, which I changed to Derek's Trip to North Korea.
Hey James, do you want to hear about the time that I went to North Korea? Oh yes! So basically, we go to Japan. We got on many roller coasters. We flew over a Godzilla store. Over one tryouts.
Again, there's just too much to talk about here. It follows up on Shut 2 by saying that I called Super Duper Looper at Six Flags Hershey Park, which itself is a joke of when I said Super Duper Looper was at Six Flags Magic Mountain accidentally.
Alright, so we just got off Super Duper Looper at Six Flags Hershey Park. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll put a clip in right now.
New Revolution. Now, Revolution at Six Flags Magic Mountain, Super Duper Looper at Six Flags Hershey Park. And we have decided that this is actually part of the same timeline as Shut. So that's why in the description of Shut 3 you would see this video. And again, there's so much to like here. Like, King's Dominion is actually Six Flag America, Six Flag America is actually King's Domination, and Hershey Park is actually Six Flags Magic Mountain. And ends with a big crash.
So this was supposed to be my first coaster at Six Flags Magic Mountain, but it was closed last year when
COVID-19. Each and every Six Flags park.
So I substituted with Banging Bird. Goodbye.
Shit. Number 2, Shut 3. Again, a lot of self-bias and recency bias, but like, wow. And it will take a while to learn all of the aspects of penis management. Please feel discouraged. This is supposed to be a terrible experience. We're going to die! This is an epic YTP. It gets started with a bunch of hilarious jokes made with How to Play Roller Coaster Tycoon 2 Remastered, like how you get the game called Fuck the Guest on xvideos.com. With your parents' permission, go online and type xvideos.com. Under click bitches. Under releases, click follow the instructions, and boom! You now have a working copy of Fuck the Guest. And it shows our trip to Six Flags Magic Mountain before, like a year before I said Super Duper Looper is at Six Flags Magic Mountain. I guess it was always Six Flags Magic Mountain in this universe, and that's probably my favorite segment of it.
Alright, I just rode Sky. It reminded me a lot of Coco Cruiser.
And it shows the history, of why we quote-unquote hate Candemonium. We love it in the real world, of course. It's just in the Shut universe. It's just bad for some. I wish it explained like why it's so bad, other than it doesn't have any track on site, but whatever, I guess.
Alright, I finally just got off Candemonium and
fuck this ride.
Fucking ass. It's so bad.
What were the people thinking when they made this ride? It kind of has foreshadowing, which I look forward to next YTP.
Candemonium is shit, but it's the less bad version.
What? Candemonium is shit, but it's a less bad version. But what's the shit? Well, I don't know. I've been looking for 40 years. And then it has Five Nights at Freddy's. I almost said Five Nights at Six Flags. Where I call it Five Nights at Porny Dark. $120 a week? That's it? I should get $120 a second. Every single staff member of the Triple J Parks Company gets a living wage. I'm not laying anyone off. Don't even ask. That's quite something. And then the Coaster Studios outro from How to Pay Locos Deck 2 Remastered. That's Remix 2 and ends with "Do not shit on Dirk," at least for now. From start to finish, it's just an elite YTP.
The handyman.
Panic!
I think so, Jesse Ventura.
Into the river.
Fuck you, said Jesse Ventura.
Okay, before we get to the number one pick, in May of 2022, I started a YTP called Theme Park Commercials I Wouldn't Mind Watching, which actually, More Flags, 66 Flags was originally going to be a small segment of that one. But when I made this one, I thought, it's fine, but maybe not worth finishing, and so I published it just to show you guys what I've been up to lately, but I don't consider it a full YTP. If it were actually complete, then I would probably put it in the okay tier, like with It's Funny Gordon and Bear in a Big Stupid House. And now for number one pick, which is, if all commercials were like this, I'd actually look forward to them.
Don't forget about original Chia Puck. Makes a great gift for everyone. Chia Puck, Chia Stew, Chia Bugs Bunny, and Chia
DC's Batman, The Rock.
If you showed me this YTP 2 years exactly before I published it and asked me to guess who made it, I would say maybe CS188? No, then there would be more Foundation Repair and whole sis jokes. Maybe YT Poop? Maybe Umbra Lupin? Or possibly Shrekardo? It's probably one of those two. No! Me! One thing I love about it is how it has kind of like 8 smaller YTPs all merged together, but at the same time, all of these things have a common theme, being commercials that you would see from 2000 to 2010. 4 of them are aimed for kids, 4 of them are aimed for adults.
Call now to order fall. Just pay now.
Wow, as well as like being absolutely hilarious with jokes all over, so many sex jokes too.
Fun!
It also kind of feels nostalgic, because that's the decade where I was like really young and energetic. I feel nostalgic for that decade sometimes. I absolutely love the Chia Cook joke, and of course had to stick in DC's Batman the Ride joke there. The Fushigi Yishishroof.
I couldn't find 00, and of course in your Apple Music library.
One part I love about the Reese's Puff commercial is
There's no food yet, so I don't care.
as well as it being generally just a groovy YTP of the Reese's Puff commercials. Like, it's not exactly funny, that segment, other than the Bill Wirtz joke, but it's just fun to listen to. My least favorite segment is probably the Swiffer, but even that is kind of enjoyable enough to get the thumbnail.
Sorry, think deeper.
And then the S. Klepper and Betty Crocker, which, if you saw that segment without watching the commercials based on, you probably wouldn't know what exactly is being advertised. I guess that's a joke. It's a YouTube poop. If you're looking for logic, you're not doing it correctly. The logic is that there's no logic. I absolutely love the imagine look on your child's face when you cut into the child's face.
Imagine the look on your child's face when you cut into the child's face.
And of course, I had some fun with making fun of Dell for the last commercial.
There's a time when Dell Desktop was sweet.
I'm not sure when exactly.
Oh, you're the more complete type. Dude, Dell is not it for you. Upgrade to your old computer.
And then, of course, there's a side plot with Anthony betting someone to make a YTP of the Empire Today commercial, which as a kid I heard like twice per commercial break. Every single commercial break for the first 14 years of my life. So, of course, I had to YTP it.
Today.
This this one I just watch over and over and over again. And during park trips, we always have a playlist. I have this on almost all of them as like the sponsors of our trip. None of these are sponsoring me, but I wouldn't mind, of course.
Let your appliances turn on your
Honey.
just by clapping. As
No. Can we not do this again? No more, please.
It's easy.
If all commercials were like this, I would actually look forward to them. And those are all my YouTube poops rent, guys. Thank you all so much for watching. I have a regular Saturday video coming up on June 3rd. You guys are really going to like this one. Derek and I really enjoyed making it. And feel free to watch like season 1 of my channel. Those are all the videos that I made between December of 2017, starting with at the American History Museum, all the way up until when I publish. The video published after the channel was existent was Swing Gang 2, I believe. Anything before that I consider season 1. Those are absolute classics. I might go on a marathon of those. Or watch any of my videos. It's a 5th anniversary. Have fun. Go crazy. There's a lot to do here. For now, thanks again for watching, and I hope you have a very good day. Right on. Until next time, players, do not shit on Derek. At least for now.